Animal Training Compound, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I put together my chest routine, how I program chest workouts. Now, most people, when you talk about chest workouts, the thing that comes to mind first and foremost is going to be the bench press. Interestingly, I've never been a big proponent from a bodybuilding perspective of doing bench for a couple reasons. Probably number one, I'm not very good at it. But from a developmental perspective, I don't think it's necessarily the best exercise for recruiting muscle fiber in your chest, you know, across the entire range of motion. Not to say that it's not a good exercise. I do incorporate some bench press. The other issue for me is with shoulder issues that I've had, the bench press wasn't always the most comfortable. Now, there is one thing I've done to circumvent that. And last year when I was getting equipment, I actually got the Kabuki Cadillac bar. The way this bar is curved and the way the handles are slightly angled, it is a lot friendlier on both the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders. So I'll just give you a quick demo here. I do incorporate some bench press with this, not a ton, but this has actually allowed me to do some bench press with relatively little pain. If you've never used the Cadillac bar, it is a pretty awesome bar. Not cheap, but definitely worth the money. So with that piece, I have incorporated bench into my chest routine. Now, my favorite as far as doing some form of primary presser is to do a movement that allows for adduction or converging movement where the hands move together, because it really enables me to work the chest through the entire range of motion from start to finish. It doesn't keep, the thing about a bench is a bench keeps your hands in a fixed pattern out here, but really to work the entire chest, you want to be able to move in towards the center. So if you do a dumbbell press, that allows you to do that. And I do since the shoulder issues I've had, rather than doing a pronated pressing position like this, I actually modify it so when I come down, I open up, okay? I turn my hands to a neutral position and then twist as I come up, and this is a lot friendlier on my shoulders. I don't get the impingement issues when I do that. I think I get a little bit better depth, a little bit better stretch at the bottom. So for primary pressing movement, that would be one. It would be either that or converging chest press. And I know I've said in previous videos I'm not a huge fan of machines, but there are certain machines that I do like. Chest press machine and converging incline chest press machine like this. This is a steel flex plate loaded incline chest press. Definitely a favorite machine of mine. Okay, you can see it's got different grips. You can do these close grip as well. Hits things a little differently, get a little more triceps involved. Okay, I've also, you can use band tension on these, where you can use the storage pegs as band pegs if you want to incorporate band tension to get some variable resistance. So you generally will do on my chest day, one of those is my primary movers. The next type of movement that I'm always going to incorporate is going to be a fly type movement. And so one way to do flies, obviously, most traditional would be a dumbbell fly. Now at the bottom, I don't want to keep my arms straight. I do allow a little bit of bend just because I don't think you really want to be out here. It's not really that safe on your shoulders or your elbows. So I'd rather be able to go a little heavier, protect the joints, but I'm still well outside my shoulder width. So where the press, you're at shoulder width. The fly, you're going to be outside your shoulders. And make sure you get that squeeze at the top. Dumbbell flies, in my opinion, are probably one of the best chest developers that you can do. Now the other type of fly movement, and again, this is where I would do one or the other within a movement. Like the first grouping, I would either do incline dumbbell presses or the converging chest press machine. Fly movement, I would either do the incline dumbbell flies or standing cable flies. And this is one of my favorite chest movements. I like to get a nice stretch and pause here. And when you bring it forward, squeeze and hold for a second. So that's your fly movement for chest. So the next movement that I'm a big proponent of for chest is dips. Okay, and dips I think are one of the most underrated chest exercises that you can do. How you do them is important because it's one of those things that can be more chest focused or more tricep focused. Wait till Amanda gets done with her set here. So the thing you gotta realize with a dip is that the more vertical you stay, okay, you're gonna get more tricep involvement. Okay, if to get your chest more involved, you allow a slight lean forward at the bottom. Okay, obviously you're still gonna get a lot of triceps, still a lot of shoulder involvement, but these are really great finisher for chest. Now, dips are a very shoulder-intensive shoulder-intensive exercise. They put a lot of stress in the front delt. So if you have any shoulder issues, it might be something that you have to steer away from. When I was having shoulder issues, I had to shy away from dips for a little bit and kind of rehab myself so I was able to be strong enough to do that and be able to support that without having pain. But definitely one of my favorite exercises. The other most underrated chest exercise, in my opinion, is just regular push-ups. Push-ups really is probably how I got a lot of my chest size and strength. I mean, when I was younger, I started off doing push-ups when I was 8 and usually did a lot of push-ups. And I think you can actually get a lot of chest development from doing nothing but push-ups. You're also going to get a lot of shoulder and tricep work as well. The way I like to do them, first of all, because push-ups for somebody who has decent upper body strength are going to be relatively easy. So you want to do them when you're already tired. Throw them at the end of your workout. I like to elevate my feet, put my hands on dumbbells. It gives you a little bit more range of motion. With these round dumbbells, you have to stabilize a little bit, okay? But these are a great finisher on a chest day or really any upper body day, or throwing them in with conditioning. And if those are too easy, you can always do them weighted. You can put it on a weighted vest. If you have somebody else around, you can have them put a plate or 2 plates on your back and make them as hard as you need to be.
So if you do weighted push-ups, would you do them sooner in your workout or more towards the end?
I still, depending on how weighted you're doing them, I still would put them more towards the end. It depends on how strong you are. The stronger you are, the harder you got to make it. So some people who are super strong on chest, you know, still at the end of the workout when they're tired, might be able to put 100, 150 pounds in their back and still be able to get 10 push-ups. So, I mean, that's fine. If you're somebody that can't get 10 push-ups regularly, well, then obviously you don't want to do them weighted at the end of your workout because you're probably just going to fall on your face. So it's really relative to the individual. And you can mix it up. You know, if you're going to, you can have days where you do them sooner in the workout and you do them really heavy weighted. And then other times where you're doing just body weight at the end and just trying to burn out and get anywhere from 30, 40, 50, whatever you can do. So the last exercise that I want to talk about, and this might be a little bit of a surprise because I think a lot of people don't think of it as a chest exercise, but I've never been an advocate of decline. I don't really like decline. It never did much for me. But for lower chest development, I always was a big fan of dumbbell pullovers. And there's a specific part of the movement that really hits the lower chest better than anything else, in my opinion. So, first of all, you can see this bench. It's got a slight decline. It allows me to lock my legs in so I don't need to have somebody hold my legs down like if I use a regular bench. So it keeps me stabilized. You can see how I'm holding the dumbbell what I want to do, I'm using obviously some lats in this part of the movement when I pull, but when I come forward, I'm going to rotate my wrists and come all the way forward, and I want to flex right here. All right, and if you rotate your wrists and flex right here, kind of almost over your abdomen, you get a tremendous squeeze in your lower chest. And again, in my opinion, this, for me, works lower chest better than almost anything else. So I'd rather do these over decline. If you do chest and back together, it's a great way to program those in because you're really hitting both in the same movement because you're getting that pull with your lats, but then you're finishing with your chest here. The thing is that your degree of elbow flexion should stay the same. The problem is a lot of people, they end up doing more of a skull crusher where back here they have too much bend in their arms and they're doing a lot of arm extensions, so they're working their triceps. And really, you should have just enough bend to protect your shoulders back here, and then focus on coming forward and squeezing your chest, and you'll get a really good lower chest workout in that. So anyway, those are some of my favorite chest exercises, kind of how I go about putting things together. Hopefully you find that helpful. If you have any questions, place them in the comments below. As always, remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, get out there and kick some ass. Have a great day, everyone.